Hey everybody, look what's back. It is Timber and Stone Beta version 1.71. Welcome. That's right, now on Steam. Apparently now on Steam. The downloaded copy I have is not a Steam copy, but it is available on Steam, so check it out. I'm not sure actually how much it's running for on Steam. I've had this game for a long time. I backed it many moons ago. You've seen a ton of videos of this game, and well, things might look a little bit different. Fog of War is a big thing now, so as you can see, we got a big old circle here indicating the Fog of War. As people move around, you'll see that that will change. I've got my units all lined up according to their abilities. I like to name them their last names. So we got Chloe Seed, who is a farmer. Chamberlain Chop, who is a wood chopper, of course. Christina Pick, she's my miner. Paige Singer, she actually is my tailor. She's a good tailor. But for right now, we're going to put her on farmer duty. Alden Arch, who's our builder. Rebecca Oakenfold, who's our carpenter. Julian DeLue, didn't really have anything good for her, so she's our forager. And Selfina Stone, who's our stonemason. And look at this. Look how disloyal, not disloyal, but gosh, nothing. Got nothing for Chamberlain. Overeater, disloyal. Disloyal. You're all just disloyal. This could be interesting. I actually don't know if that's one of the things that comes into play, but I was playing sort of the developmental copy of this game for a little while, and they changed things on us. They got rid of like the builder, and I don't really agree with that. I agreed with what they were going for. So basically what they wanted to do was they wanted to make the stonemason be the person who like sets stone, which makes sense. They wanted the carpenter to be the person that sort of set wood blocks. You kind of get the drift. Like they wanted the person who actually would come to a building site and do that. So they were kind of trying to spread the building abilities across the board, but it was kind of causing chaos at the crafting tables, I think. So they scrapped that idea for now. But look, we got tutorials. We might try one or two of these. I turned these on because I've never seen them before. But yeah, Fog of War, mechanics have changed. You can't sleep. They don't sleep on the ground anymore. They have a health bar. They actually have to sleep in a bed. And you actually have the ability to kind of tell, where is it at? Yeah, rest when injured. Rest when health is below 80%, which is pretty cool. We might adjust that according to who's who, but that's pretty fun. New animals, enemies in terms of artwork. Every unit in the map now has a faction, so you could actually have like goblins attacking wolves or goblins, uniting with wolves, depending on how things are. Basically, things are kind of in the 1.5 difficulty stuff. So, anyways, kind of wanted to explain that to you. More information at timberandstonegame.com. It's worth it. Also, probably on Steam as well. I know that was a big deal for them. So, one of the first things I like to do, again, is I like to kind of go through and see under abilities here what people are good at and kind of set them at it. Easier view is to hit U to find your unit list. You can kind of click around on this. I always like to have 2 farmers to start, a forager, sometimes 2 foragers, depending how things go. So we might help them get farming going and then change somebody over to a forager. I don't have any foragers. They're all 1s. So someone's got to start somewhere. Usually go for a miner. That could change to something else. I got to chop that wood down. Of course, we want a stonemason. Do I even have a carpenter? Yeah, yes I do. Okay, Rebecca, of course. You want to get that carpenter going as well. So the builder could easily fluctuate. We do want to I like to build dirt walls around my people, so that may actually be something that we get out of the way. One of the things, the game kept crashing on me, is some weird like resolution things that I have to report. You have to turn stuff on, so you want to be able to track stuff. That's how you do it. So over here, you can easily see it. So I always track this stuff, whether or not you want to track the same things I do, that's totally up to you. Animal hide, I kind of want to, but I'm going to leave it alone for now. Wheat is something that you're going to feed your animals with. Some people go like straight for wheat right away. That's not really something that I sort of care about, although I think it's not any, see, I don't have any seeds, but I know you can kind of chop down like free and loose wheat, I think, in the open. Let's go ahead and track money. Why not? We'll do timber. I want to track leather for a couple of different reasons, which I'll explain probably later, maybe not even in this episode. Knives are going to be handy for your foragers, so we can actually build one. Level 3 blacksmith. I think I have a level 3 blacksmith, but it might not be as easy as I think. I always track down stone hammers, stone picks, stone axes. You're going to see here in a second, it's going to jump up here. Fishing rods, maybe. I think I can actually do that. Awesome. We'll go ahead and track fishing rods. We're going to get somebody fishing here pretty soon, actually. I'll show you exactly why here in a second. Weapons, I also like to track clubs, which you can build right away with a level 1 carpenter. You're going to want to get everybody clubs because they're going to be able to gang up on those bad guys. As in the past, I like to put myself pretty close to water. So we're going to put our thing here, but we're probably actually going to build closer in this area. That way we can kind of have our backs to the water. If you zoom out far enough, you're going to see that we have a really nice big beach area. This, I think, leads out to an ocean, but I chose a place that apparently wasn't ocean specific. So you can see here, there's a lot of stuff, but we're pretty much surrounded on water, not quite on 2 sides, but close enough. And then this kind of goes all the way up here. You can track your depth. You can page up and page down until you kind of get to the point where you start losing things, and you'll see here in a second I start losing kind of the background. And I actually think this is a really cool way to see animals. And although the fog of war is on, it doesn't turn animals like, that doesn't make them disappear because of fog of war. I don't know if that's on purpose or not. I don't mind it because I actually like to see where the animals are. Let me check something real quick about this forager because I'm actually curious. So yeah, harvest wild wheat, but I think they probably need a knife to do that. So that's that. I haven't unpaused the game yet. As you can see, the game's still paused. I changed it to the spacebar. It is normally the P key, and then like rotate structures is usually the spacebar, but I changed it to the R key since it's kind of up in that area where you would have the WSAD to switch around. I don't know. I'm spitting a bunch of things out. I may not actually build anything in this episode. I apologize, but I just like kind of explaining what I am. I may chop up the video a little bit so you guys can not hear so much rambling, or it'll be tighter rambling. I also like to switch the, normally it's the bracket keys, which are way over there by your enter key, to switch between people. I use Z and X. I kind of just remap those. I think it's easier. I like keeping all my keys on the right side of the keyboard. I remember days when all your most of your keys were not on the left side of your keyboard. You played with stuff sort of mid-right, which I think is kind of funny now these days. So as you can see here, we don't have any dirt. So we actually want to designate a mining area. So I guess we'll just go ahead and do the tutorial. How does it work? Oh, do you just click on it, I guess? I don't know. It says using the dig mine option in the design menu, you're able to select the area for your miners to dig. Click the start designation, select the dig area, and click again to finish. The up and down arrow keys will adjust the height of the selection, and you can remove the designation by holding down the Alt and Shift keys, which I think is really helpful for new people. So actually, let's see where are we at in the scope of that universe. Yeah, we actually kind of chose a flat area. But as a matter of fact, and it's very 3D-esque, which is a lot different than I think what some of you might be used to seeing since the last time around. I only put out one video for 1.6, and I feel really bad about that. But things in my life got kind of crazy. I have a son now. He was born, and so I think that had a lot to do with it. Let's go ahead and just designate those. And as you can see there, anything in red is going to be mined up. And that is actually going to be turned into dirt depending on what it is. You can hold down Q to see what things is. So as you can see here, we've got some combinations of stone and grass. And that is actually iron. So you want to go ahead and designate those two. This is coal. Oops. If you want to undo that, you hold down Alt and Shift and it turns yellow. And you can click on it to undo that. I usually do all this stuff off camera. I'm waiting for it to crash again. This would be my luck. It's a beta, so you know it's not the perfect game. And of course, I can do this kind of off camera, but I recommend doing that. Just go ahead and get all the stuff that you may not even be able to mine because if, again, you hold down Q, it'll tell you whether or not the miner, that's the miner's level 6, and I don't even think we have a miner that's anywhere near that. Miner 3. Yeah, so the only thing I think, we're able to get, I think, is coal. I think coal's level 3, isn't it? Level 5. Wow, so we're going to actually have to help him mine some of that stuff in level 8. So get that miner going as soon as possible. It's kind of hard to see I find it kind of hard to see with the new textures. I think the grass blends in a little too easily. Here I'm hitting the arrow keys, and as you can see there, it's going to go ahead and sort of mark those things up for mining. So we'll go ahead and select actually a pretty good area. Let me go ahead and get all this because I want to flatten this out because eventually we're going to actually probably build in that area. Another thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and designate trees for that. So is that done? Oh, cool. Yeah, so it changed to gather 80 raw stone, which we totally need to do. Oh, I see you there, Cole. I see you there. This actually looks like a pretty good pile, but I'm going to go ahead and get this one out of the way. And let's go ahead and just designate those for removal. And designate all that for removal as well. So it's pretty cool that it kind of walks you through that. Designate and construct a block. Designate a hall. Craft basic tools. So, if you're new to the game, this is really helpful. I mean, videos were always the way that I tried to help people out. Was like, hey, this is how you start the game out. But they've implemented some tutorial stuff, which is pretty cool. But hey, sometimes I got to be reminded too. Might be fun to actually help along new people as well to kind of push them in the right direction on how to get this game going without losing their minds. Remove trees. So we're going to go ahead and chop mature, or you could do like a clear cut, which basically is just kind of a not so crazy thing. But we'll go ahead and click, and I'm letting go of the mouse. And we'll go ahead and do that. So like this tree won't get cut because it's not a mature tree, but like these two would. Or you could just, again, do like a clear cut, and then at that point, it's going to cut that tree down. Bye-bye, tree. You're going to go. Use the gots to go. So I'm going to clear out these trees to kind of give ourselves a fighting chance if something kind of pops up. Plus, I want to give my my wood chopper something to do. Let's go ahead and check and see if we actually... Oh, we can look down here. So we got one stone axe. So we're probably going to want to build some of that stuff. So let's go ahead and actually show you guys how to do that. So currently in queue, maintain, and storage. Those are the two really important things that you're going to see. So you're going to see raw wood. You're going to see raw stone. We have 6, I do believe. It takes 2. It takes 2, and we have 3. So the parentheses is what we actually have in stock. And level 1 stonemason is who's needed to do that. So right now, we're probably going to want to build up our queue. I'm going to say maintain and storage. Always maintain 5. I always maintain 5 of things except for the stone picks, and I actually maintain 10 of those because depending on who you get, sometimes they're not that great. Maybe it was hammers. Maybe hammers is the thing I do 10 of. But for right now, we're going to do 5. If things get out of hand, we'll bulk that number up. So the queue, you can kind of force your hand on the queue a little bit. I'm actually going to go ahead and do 3 on that, build everything up. So I'm going to get everything up to 5 and sort of just kick them in the butt a little bit. So yeah, we got 3 picks as well. Fishing rods, I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to say maintain 1 if possible. Although they'll tell you if you're not doing that great. Okay, so a carpenter is going to be able to build that. And again, we might convert a fisherman or a farmer into a fisherman. And it looks like we have maybe Chloe could do that. Although you always want to try to get your farmers going, again, as soon as you can. It's really helpful. We're going to go ahead and designate our farms over in this area. So let's go ahead and do that. I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but we definitely want to get farms going as soon as possible. You don't want to be like, oh, look at this huge farm I've got. Like, you don't want to build something that's, like this big, because they're going to just keep they're going to have to keep farming it for seeds over and over and over and over until you actually get that. So I actually like to build sort of small ones. I think 5 by 5 is the number that I always try to go for, but I don't know. So like we obviously wouldn't have enough for that, but you're going to have like a little bit of a season to get going on that. And see, we can't do that. It can only be designated in flat and dirty grass. You can also cancel the design of farms, which is pretty nice. So like farming designations cannot overlap, but we can cancel the, can we not get rid of it? Remove carrot farm. Are you sure? Yes. So that's kind of how you build up and remove stuff on the fly. So actually, what I want to do is I want to get rid of, or do we want to build the farm up here? I guess we could build it up here. It wouldn't be too bad. Let's go ahead and build our carrot farm. See how it's kind of hard to see? It's just kind of one of my pet peeves about the game a little bit. For me, it's just hard to see, but for you, maybe not. I don't know. You do you, and then we can talk about it. Then pumpkins. Wait, why does it say 6? So there we go. So we can have like 3 farms there, and then eventually we'll put another one there, and we'll kind of have this as our farming area. Designate, construct a block, yada, yada, yada. So let's go ahead and unpause and see how things are going. As you can see, that fog of war kind of builds up, like it expands. I cannot farm without a hoe. That's okay. I'm actually going to go ahead and take it to the menu so I can show you guys that every now and then, like if you make some significant changes in the game, when you hit the exit, it'll save the game. And I highly recommend that you back up the game because it's going to help you out in terms of like if there's no way of forcing the game to save other than this way that I just showed you. So I highly recommend you go to your save folder, you right click on it, and you put it in a zip file. And if all heck breaks loose, you can just unzip that bad mofo right back into your main folder and start again. So I do that after every recorded episode, and I highly recommend you do the same thing. One does not farm simply without a hoe. We not have any hoes? Where my hoes at? Okay. Well, maybe somebody else already grabbed a hoe. Yeah, somebody else already grabbed a hoe. But we got Selfina working on something, emptying inventory. So let's go ahead and see if she's gonna kind of, yep, she's crafting a stone pick, which is pretty cool. So as a matter of fact, that's gonna take up everything. And as you can see here, we've kind of got a guy just hanging out here, and we don't want that. We don't want, because we don't have anything to build at the moment. So as a matter of fact, he could probably be a fisherman if we really wanted to. But for now, we'll make him a forager, and we'll set his stuff. So you always want to basically click on all this stuff. At least I do. I send him out into the old blue yonder. He can get us some food. Because right now we only have 29. Oh, great. Stone pick is broken. See what I mean? And as Christina like a fumbling idiot, I mean, there's no other way of saying it. Lazy, charismatic, and sluggish. So, not necessarily, I don't know if any of those traits are sort of prone to breaking tools, but I could be totally wrong. Again, see the game saved. So you can kind of force the subject, which I appreciate. So what are you doing? You're just waiting around? Because you're a carpenter. So, again, right away, you may not have things for them to do. But, let's see here. We can do a few things. We've got objects and we got workshops, like an artesian workbench. High quality workbench requires a hammer. We've got a normal workbench, which is pretty handy. Stone forge, stone anvil, a loom, which you'll get into much later. At least I do. A feeding trough, which you can feed your livestock with, which I don't really get into the feeding livestock. This tanning rack, oh my gosh. I think it was missing during the development part of the game, so you kind of hit a wall, and you couldn't really do anything. It was kind of annoying. And you got a timbering bench, so you can process raw wood into timber, which is pretty cool. This, I don't remember the artesian workbench, but I could totally be spacing on that. So we're going to have our farms here. I'm going to try to maybe build like a perimeter in this area. Kind of build up a castle area. A castle. And so I guess, geez, I guess we could just do that. So, R is the rotation key. As you can see, they can work on either side of it. So I'm going to go ahead and actually, I like to plan but not plan at the same time. So we're just going to go assume that there might be a building here at some point in the future and go from there. So we got it on the grass. So again, that's going to require 6 stone and 6 wood, which we don't have at the moment, but it's best to go ahead and just lay that down. Heat metals and cook bricks requires tongs. Tong, 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 tong. That looks like this. So you'll need something to keep that thing fueled, essentially, in a stone anvil as well. But for right now, we'll just go ahead and build a workbench. Go from there. And it tells you who builds that stuff too. Although, let's see. I'm trying to think of whose designation that is. Is that a stone? I don't know. Wait, what's this? Ah, it's the high quality one. So we got our person mine in there. It's fine by me. So now we got 14. So you're just, Rebecca really doesn't have anything going on. She's a carpenter. So, to help, as a matter of fact, to help, what else are you good at, Rebecca? Let's check you out. Rebecca Oakenfold, carpenter. She's a good engineer, which you really won't jump into. She is a good stonemason and a good wood chopper, so we may actually set her to be a good wood chopper or a stonemason, and she could possibly build. She could possibly build that thing for us. Workshops. See, because I think that's a carpenter that builds that, and then this is a stonemason. But again, I can't. I'm pointing at it on the screen, but you can't see it. I can't go to down to that one and see what that requires. So as a matter of fact, I may just go ahead and switch Rebecca over to being a stonemason, if I can get rid of that. And maybe she'll help us out by... We don't have the materials to craft the workbench. Yeah, so they're both just standing around, not able to do anything. So as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and make her a miner. Because we're going to need stone. And we're going to need timber. Timber and stone. That's probably why they named it the game. So, just saying. Encumbrance is something that you're going to want to worry about as well. Since I've got this person chopping wood and kind of running back and forth, and we really kind of need wood at the moment, I'm going to go ahead and set this to 8, even though he's taking his sweet old time. And you can speed up the game too with the controls up here. It's all good. It is all good. So he's cutting down that tree, and you'll see him collect that here in a second. One does not simply farm without a hoe. We don't have the materials to craft the workbench. OMG! So they're going ahead and getting these ready to go for us. I like the slanty blocks, especially for like, I don't know. Oh, you're emptying your inventory. So how much do you have? So she's got a ton of dirt there. 38 dirt, which is pretty cool. Dirt. You can also tell them kind of what to maintain in their inventory. So like I could always tell this individual to always have, like eventually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell all of them to keep clubs in their inventory because, well, you want to make sure that everyone has a way of defending themselves. So as a matter of fact, we have 8 settlers, so always maintain 4 in storage. Let's go ahead and queue up 8 of them. And a carpenter does that. See, I couldn't do that on the other thing, which is kind of a pet peeve of mine. So a level 1 carpenter could take care of that for us. Do we have a carpenter at the moment? We don't. So as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and get Rebecca to do that, because we do have a little bit of wood. So we switched her back. And you can switch them back and forth. It used to penalize you for that back in the day, but I think they've gotten rid of that, which is preferred in my instance. Yeah, and so like, oh, we need to craft a workbench. Well, guess what? We don't have one yet. But she's crafting something. That's the thing. Yeah, she's crafting the club. Because technically there's one in here. So she freaked out for a moment. But she's going to go ahead and build that for us. We don't have the materials to craft the workbench. Well, we don't. And I'm sorry. Workbench. So we need stone, essentially, is what it comes down to. And you can kind of force your miners to do that stuff for you. I'll show you about that here in a second. So we got raw stone. We'll be fine. She's going to run right over there and make it for us. So as you can see there, that tree's there. we can click on it and say, hey, remove the tree stump, which is what I'm going to do in this instance, because you know what? I don't want these things in my way. So now we're kind of getting up on the masonry side of things. So right now we've got some issues. So we're going to have to build this up. So as a matter of fact, let me show you that a little bit. I'm getting real long on time, so I may actually have to wrap things up here in a second. But I do want to kind of give you an idea about how this works. So objects, storage, it's kind of where it's buried, and then masonry. So a masonry stockpile provides for 300 mass. As you can see, we only have 40 over here, so this thing's going to really help us out. So we need a level 2 miner, and we actually need 20 stone for that, which we don't have at the moment, which kind of sucks. But as you can see there, level up. Christina Pick is now a level 4 miner, and the game saved, which is pretty cool. I don't mind necessarily putting it kind of over in this area, because you can pretty much put these wherever you want in the game. So I'm actually going to go ahead and try to build it there. That's a masonry stockpile, which looks different to me. It looks kind of like a wood pile, like a raw stack. So we got it in a timber pile, kind of reminded me of that. So as you can see, masonry. Ah, crap. You know, we don't have the materials to craft the masonry stockpile. Well, let me go ahead and pause this. And instead of them doing the grass over here, say, hey, I'm going to right click. So I clicked on my miner and I said, hey, come over here instead. And that's going to move them over here to where they can take care of things for us. And as you can see there, wait, why is she crafting? Oh, did I click the wrong person? Oh, and she might be able to do that on her own. Yeah, let me get the miner. It was my bad. You guys probably saw that and you're like, what is this? Has this guy really played this game before? Because he's acting like he has no idea what he's doing. What are you doing? Waiting for 5 seconds. Well, don't be lazy. Get your butt over here. I feel bad now. And so club-wise, what do we got going on? Yeah, so we got 2 clubs. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how to maintain things in your inventory. Oops. So, maintain in your inventory. And I'm actually going to, I should probably do this with the forgers, but everyone eventually is going to need their own. So you can actually switch around inside this menu. So maintaining club. Everyone's going to maintain a club. Because they should. Everyone should have their own protection. And it's going to help you out in the long run on doing that. Why is Christina Pick not doing anything? We don't have the materials to craft the masonry stockpile. So is she prioritizing that over... No. You don't come over here. We're going to cancel that construction. I'm going to tell her to stay over here. See, it's this kind of stuff that kind of drives me a little bit crazy. Like, why aren't you doing your job? Maintaining the inventory. A pick. We have picks, right? Is that a pick or a hoe? That's a pick. Curious. She's going to have to come back here anyways for it. Yay. That's a little frustrating. Chloe Seed is now a level 4 farmer. Awesome. Remove that tree stump when you get a second. I understand you're working. So now we have a bench. As you saw, probably in the background somewhere, somebody was working on that workbench for us. We may just keep it outside. Eventually, you can do all sorts of crazy things with the construction, flooring. You got all sorts of really pretty materials compared to what they used to be. All sorts of stuff. But anyways, that is kind of a starting template for how to get working on timber and stone. We'll dig more ways than one. We will get into this game a lot more. So actually, I can get copper ore because we do have level 3. I knew there was something level 3 early on in the game. So I just saved a game. I'm going to back this thing up. And I'll be back with another episode in the future. But I do hope you guys got a little something out of this. If I missed something, by all means, leave the comments below. I always get something that I completely spaced cadetted on. And leave those likes. This is back. A lot of you came for this in the past, and you were always like, where's Timber and Stone? Where's Timber and Stone? I got burnt out on it. I'm not going to lie, because I was really trying to help them out in terms of the development part of it. And I branched out to other games, which you can totally see on my channel, but they slowly pulled me back into this with some of the stuff that they did. I just needed a little bit of a sabbatical. So I appreciate your guys' patience. So again, if you enjoyed it, leave a like. I would really, really appreciate that. It lets me know that you are happy that Timber and Stone is back. So until next time, this is JPG. Go play your games, and I'll be seeing ya.